He's finally back.
And it's a sunny day.
It's a sunny day, beautiful day. Less beautiful though, Jacques, is this garlic. So today we're gonna see if we finally have garlic success. So how's your garlic doing at your place?
It's actually doing pretty good. Mine's like a little bit greener. I've harvested a couple early heads, but it looks like you're pretty much at the point where you're ready to full harvest.
We're getting a little bit crispy here, a little bit dead. And honestly, all the scapes happened maybe a month ago or so. So I'm kind of curious. A couple of them are still green.
Yeah.
But we have some early teases of some heads.
Oh, okay. Those are good.
Promising. I don't know if they look like fully developed or not, but
I mean,
we'll have to
see. This one looks pretty sizable at least. Like, I'd be happy with that.
I'm pretty happy.
And this is a mix of soft and hardneck garlic, right?
Yeah, there's about 14 varieties.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's get to harvesting. All right, dude. Let's just go for it. There's so many different varieties in here, and we'll start off with Sicilian artichoke on my side. So these were planted on the 22nd of December, right before Christmas. Right before Christmas. So that's, I don't know, that's almost... You
gotta wait for your presents, I guess.
Almost 6 months, yeah, I know.
Yeah, actually it is almost 6 months, so that's pretty standard.
I mean, look at that.
I mean, that's a great size head.
That's decent.
Very much
Probably a little bit too wet, but that's fine.
So do you want me to try to keep these organized somewhat?
Yeah, I would try.
I'll try pulling these Creoles.
I would try.
Looks like the Creole maybe was an early garlic, because
there's nothing there.
I think it's there, but
there's a buried treasure in there.
For it.
There's a buried treasure.
Here's like a thing that happens to a lot of my garlic that I don't pay attention to. Occasionally you'll miss them. Like this one finished early, the neck flopped, and what happened was that the protection layer didn't form. So you have the cloves, but you just have to eat this now. It's totally fine,
I just have to eat it ASAP.
But it just won't store.
Yeah.
So that'll probably be true for these Creoles, but the rest of them look like they'll be solid.
So that's not bad for Sicilian, especially once I dry this up, because of course you got to cure all these. So we're gonna bust out our little curing table.
Decent size though, even though they didn't wrap.
So this is what I did wrong this year, Jacques, is I stopped fertilizing a month before.
Okay, that's good.
Which was right.
Yeah.
But I didn't follow that up with killing the irrigation about 3-4 weeks beforehand. And I think that's why all of these have no parchment.
Right.
Which again, they're still fine. And actually I could like preserve them in olive oil or something.
You could just like freeze it even, chop it.
That'll be fine, but it's just kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I actually forgot also. I did it a little late, but mine were still like 60, 70% green.
See, like that's pretty good.
They're nice sized cloves.
Yeah. So this is the aftermath of Epic Garlic 2024 season. Not too bad, but Jacques and I are gonna now bring this out to the backyard because we need to put this through the proper curing cycle. So we're here underneath the loquat tree, which to me is just very poetic.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe under here. It's actually really nice and cool, Jacques.
It really is. Surprisingly cool.
So I learned this from you, basically. I mean, I knew how to cure garlic, of course, but you did it under your calamansi tree.
Yep.
Which my Filipino heritage really appreciates. And all you're gonna do is just leave it under here. I mean, you left your garlic last year, how long?
It takes like two to 4 weeks. You're basically looking for it to go full dry. And you can either like tie it up, so you could organize it like that, or just lay them all out. But sometimes you have to rotate them. Honestly, with this table, there's holes and slats between it, so I think it'll be plenty of airflow. Yeah,
all I'm doing is I'm tying halfway up. I don't want these right next to one another,
bunch them.
But I just don't want them falling apart and not knowing what they are.
I'll go grab some more. Might need a bigger table.
We might need both. We might need both. Would you ever just cut off some of the tops though?
I try not to. It's like tempting, but basically, I mean, at this point, if they're fully dry, like you're not gonna lose anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, actually brings me to my thought for next year.
Oh yeah,
which is is I want less variety.
Like, well, that's how it always goes.
It's fun to like grow them all, but realistically, I'm like, am I really gonna pay attention to which one's which, and which one I like more than the other?
This is my
maybe not.
Well, you know what I liked. This is my caveat. We might just be on different cycles. Because you might be in slimming and I might be in growing. Yeah. And so I liked this year to see, like I wouldn't have known silver white unless I tried it out.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I'm gonna escalate silver white, but Zemo, I think that might have been my mistake. That one just looks a little weak. But some of them, like now I know not to grow it. So I'm gonna go into a slimming year next year, but then the year after that, I will expand again, for sure. If there's new variety.
I mean, honestly, I'm probably lying. Every year I say I'm gonna do less, and I don't.
Let's just be honest
so
here,
let's be real.
Let's be real.
Like my tomatoes, I'm like, oh yeah, less variety. And then I just keep planting more.
We're talking about a guy who can't kill a tree collard that's been in his house for 3 years. You think he's gonna do less?
No, he's not.
I don't think he's gonna do less.
But I'll tell you what, I'm not growing this.
Don't be trash talking my Nootka rows. Don't trash my Nootka, bro. This is what I garden for.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's a moment just like this.
Yeah.
You're hanging out under the loquat tree with your bros.
Just looking at some beautiful
Or your
garlic.
broettes. And you're looking at some garlic. You got this nice breeze coming through.
It's actually
a Friday
really
afternoon.
breezy here.
Yeah,
It's really great.
Yeah. So we've got the old Bulgarian setup underneath the loquat tree.
And it's beautiful.
Probably about 50 heads, I would say, Jacques.
Yeah.
Big ones. Elephant garlic really came through this year.
Yeah.
The German white was okay.
Not bad at all.
Even the Spanish Roja.
Yeah.
So 2 to 4 weeks on this, and then we've got all of this garlic, which won't store because the skin is kind of gone and it grew in a weird way, but it's still garlic that we can eat. So why don't we take this out to the back?
Yeah.
But I want to show you, you haven't been here in a while, so let's show you a couple things.
All right, let's check it out.
So Jacques, the irrigation is complete. Thanks to Paul. Thank you, Paul. Everyone say thank you to Paul. We've got this beautiful setup. We actually copied a little bit of your style this year.
Oh,
with the harder poly.
Oh, yeah,
the perforated poly. So talk about this because you like this stuff.
I like it because you could do curves, basically. Like the drip tape, you can only do straight lines, but here, like, you could follow natural curves. There's more like options for spacers, but
it's just way harder too.
It looks great. Yeah, you can't really like accidentally cut this as easily as you would the tape, which
it's basically
I would do all the time.
mainline tubing just with a perforated hole that's reinforced.
Yeah, it's got the emitters built in.
Roughly about a foot or so spacing between lines. And of course it looks very gritty right now, but once this all grows in, you won't be able to see it. Because if you take a look at the squash,
I was gonna say, this is not gritty over here. This looks amazing.
The squash is looking really good.
Like, let me get in here real quick.
Yeah.
Like,
twist one off.
That's a perfect squash.
Hey, why don't you take that home?
I will.
A little snack.
I actually will.
Trust me, I know you will. I know you will. And I haven't even shown you the tomatoes yet.
So you added all these.
Take a look at the San Marzanos.
Wow.
So this is the most sophisticated, I guess you could say, my squash or my sauce garden's ever gotten.
I really like the way it looks. Actually, I'm starting to appreciate some straight lines.
Yeah.
But I think this is gonna be super organized. Like the sauce production.
Oh man.
It's gonna be on another level.
Yeah, and we're doing a really good job right now of training it. So we're doing pretty classic, just like little twine ties.
And you're removing suckers?
We're removing suckers because the Marzanos are indeterminates.
They look great.
So we're gonna rip them straight up. We might actually, as they get bigger, have to fix these a little bit further into the ground. But I did a power planter style dig in here and just stuffed these down. And then look at the actual tomatoes. Actually, I don't know, like how are yours doing? Because I feel like I might be a little ahead of you.
You actually are, and I'm gonna sample one just because of that.
Give the people a taste. Is it good or is it kind of mealy?
It is like a more mealy style tomato, but I don't mind that. I think they cook down into a beautiful sauce, personally. It's got great flavor.
Let's see what I think.
It's got great flavor.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that would make a wonderful sauce.
Really would.
Like a little cherry tomato sauce with some like parpadelli. Take me home.
So, interplanting wise, zinnia, but really, all we decided to do this year was different basil.
Oh, okay.
So we got one basil there.
Yeah, it looks different than
another
this one.
style right there.
Ooh.
Another one there, and then even down here we've got like a classic Genovese, right around that corner there.
Oh, you're growing like an ox heart this year.
We're growing a true ox heart.
Wow, they look so funny.
Aren't they weird? They're sort of like beefsteaks that want to be plums or pears.
Totally.
Yeah, it's a weird tomato.
I haven't grown that one before for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it looks cool.
They're I'm pretty bullish on the tomatoes this year.
Yeah, I just got my first
organized,
cherry.
Nice and neat, well pruned, nice ripening cadence. I mean, look at this guy.
That's
red,
wonderful.
Green.
And no disease yet.
No
so
disease.
You're doing really good on that.
Big fingers crossed on that, but here's why. Look at the spacing.
Yeah.
Full 2 foot spacing.
Full airflow.
Full airflow,
Good
and then
pruning.
we're keeping it really columnar this year. We did a double twine instead of a single.
Oh, interesting.
Just in case, because I had a couple snaps last year.
Okay. It is heavy. You could feel the heft.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. There's quite a bit of meat on these bones here. So I think it's a pretty good year.
Yeah.
So with the garlic harvested, I feel like summer's in full swing.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's your marker. When you pull that garlic out, you take a look at those peppies.
Oh yeah, they look
Look at
great.
these guys.
They've grown a lot since we planted them.
They've
That
grown
wasn't too long ago.
A ton. And once you kind of clear out a lot of that area and get the peppers in, this bed starts to look really beautiful.
It's gonna be amazing.
Still has a bit of that inner plant vibe. Like you still got a little bit of this going, a little bit of this. There's a couple of the pimp tomatoes from last year. Remember those? See them like kind of dotting around?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just doing simple cut in half or cut in third bamboo stakes. And then what we're doing, remember the one you double planted there?
Oh yeah.
We're just gonna kind of prune out the interior if we need to, kind of like you would with a fruit tree.
Right, yep.
But I don't even think we need to this year. I think it'll be totally fine.
It's off to a great start.
Yeah, so Jacques, hit him with the outro.
Good luck in the garden. Keep on growing.
You know, I think if you had to grow one, it would be music.
Music.
Most of the time.
100%.
Sing me a tune.
I can't.